They are almost here. The 2021 NBA playoffs are just a few days away, and I am hype. Wow, that did not work. That did not come out the way I planned it, but you understand, okay? I am very, very excited for the playoffs to start, and there are a whole lot of interesting freaking matchups. Last night, the Celtics cemented themselves as the 7 seed. Clap, round of applause for Jason Tatum. Now you get swept by the Nets. Congratulations, buddy. I hope you're happy with yourself. Seriously, though, incredible performance by Jason Tatum. The Wizards suck butt. I don't know why people have been scared of them all season. But yeah, that's not what we're here to talk about today, actually. We're not here to talk about the Eastern Conference whatsoever. There are a few interesting first-round matchups. The big one, I already made a video on, the Miami Heat and the Milwaukee Bucks. That's one that people care about. Knicks fans care about their first-round matchup with the Hawks just because, their team's such a failure that getting to the second round would be an absolute, milestone among milestones for them. But the one that I want to look at today is the Clippers versus the Dallas Mavericks. This is the same first-round matchup we got last season, and we had a phenomenal showing from Luka Doncic. He pushed the Clippers to 6 games without his second-best teammate, Kristaps Porzingis. Alright? 6 games. The man dropped like 42 with a game winner in one game. It was an incredible performance. Now we're a year later. The Mavs are a little bit better, and some people are actually saying that the Mavericks can beat the Clippers in this series. So I wanted to give you my opinion on this first round series, which I am certainly going to watch with interest. Alright, the Western Conference is wide open, and it would be the most Clippers thing in the world for them to lose in the first round now that after they tanked to not have to face the Lakers in the first round. It would be hysterical. So I'm going to give you my opinions on this matchup and let you know what I think is going to go down. Let's start with the Dallas Mavericks, shall we? Looking at this team, they have the 9th overall offense in the league and the 11th net rating. And when you look at their roster, it's kind of surprising they don't have a better offense. Like, they really should be top 5, if we're being totally honest here. First of all, they have Luka frickin' Doncic. And in case you've been living under a rock, in case you didn't know, Luka Doncic is just kinda sorta a little bit really freaking good at the game of basketball. He's just quietly averaging 28, 8, and 9 this season on 48% shooting, and even though he's only shooting 35% from 3, and I think that number should be higher, he is taking 8 3-pointers a game, and a lot of them are these bullshit step backs that have no right going in for anyone whose name is not Steph Curry or Damian Lillard, and yet they go in at 39% for him. Second up on the team, you've got Kristaps Porzingis. He's missed a decent amount of games, but when he has played, he averages 20 points and 9 rebounds a game, and he shoots 48% from the field and 38% from 3 on 6 attempts a game. Mind you, this man is 7'3", shooting all these 3-pointers, making all these 3-pointers. He is ridiculous. Then you've got a bunch of really good backup scorers in Tim Hardaway and Jalen Brunson. Hardaway is having a very efficient 17-point per game season. Jalen Brunson is a low-key 6 Man of the Year candidate, averaging 13 points on likewise very good efficiency off of the bench. And then following these guys, you've got quite a few decent bench-level players. Dorian Finney-Smith kind of does it all. He's another very efficient guy, even if he doesn't score too much. Josh Richardson is not efficient, but he can score, once in a while when he's not busy bricking mid-range jump shots that he loves for some stupid reason. And he's a pretty good defender. Maxi Kleba does a little bit of everything. He can play some small ball center for you. If you need a real center, you got Dwight Powell. He's a great lob guy, and he can do a little bit of post defense. You also got Boban if you, really want to crush the other team, because goddamn, I love Boban. Love me some Boban, alright? Just Boban. What am I saying right now? What is this bit I'm going into? Anyway, that was fucking weird. Then you got JJ Redick on this team also, who they just got. He hasn't been, great for this team, but if you ever need a man to just come in and hit a 3-pointer, that's what JJ Redick does best. Alright, this dude, if nothing else, can hit some motherfucking 3s. So why isn't this team better? Well, their coaching's not great. Alright, Rick Carlisle was a very good coach back in the day with Dirk, but I really think he has not adjusted well to this new team in this new era. He just ISOs too much with Luka. He doesn't have enough set plays, other guys don't do enough, and also, it seems that Kristaps Porzingis does not think he's getting the ball enough when he plays with Luka Doncic. Now, he's missed a whole lot of time, and I think Kristaps Porzingis just needs to shut the hell up and get healthy before he starts complaining about the fact that he's not getting the ball enough. How do you want a man to run an offense around you when you're never there to play? You freaking idiot. But, nevertheless, that's going to come down to the coach, and at the end of the day, if Doncic and Porzingis don't have chemistry, if the rest of the team is doing nothing but standing around 90% of the time, like, that's part of the reason Tim Hardaway Jr. is so good on this team, because he can really create his own shot out of nothing, which is what all the role players are expected to do under freaking Rick Carlisle. If Luka Doncic is not creating the offense, nobody is for this team, and that is a big, big issue. Also, they are the 20th ranked defense, and, Kristaps is a decent defender, Luka's improved, Josh Richardson is supposed to be a good defender, but some nights he just isn't. There's just not that much defensive talent on the team overall, however, and that could really be an issue against a team as talented as the Los Angeles Clippers. This team is the number 4 offense, number 8 defense, and number 2 net rating in the NBA. They are the best three-point shooting and free throw shooting team in the league, and they have a ridiculous amount of star power on both ends of the floor. First of all, you got Kawhi Leonard. He's having another underrated MVP season, just a quiet 25, 6, and 5, along with 2 steals on 51, 40, 89 shooting splits. Likewise, right next to him, basically a poor man's Kawhi Leonard, which is still saying a lot, is Paul George, averaging 23, 6, and 5. Sorry, 23, 7, and 5, my bad, on 47, 41, 87 splits. Very similar numbers. Both dudes are versatile as hell on defense. They're very good defenders. They're having arguably the best playmaking seasons of their entire careers. They're fantastic. Marcus Morris is having the best season of his career, even though he's only averaging 13 points a game. He's shooting 47% from 3. He is a sniper. Once again, he's a switchable forward defender. You can even play him as a small ball center in need be. That is not how words work, but we're going to ignore that and the fact that I can't speak. Nicholas Batum is having a revival year. He's shooting great from 3. He gets you a few points a game. He does what you need him to do. Serge Ibaka has missed a lot of time. Patrick Beverley has missed a lot of time, but both of these guys are very good, versatile defenders. They can both hit the open three-pointer when you need them to. Very good defensive role players. Reggie Jackson, phenomenal year this year, shooting very efficiently. Zubac is having a good year if you need a classic center. And Rajon Rondo and Luke Kennard coming off the bench have been great additions to the team. Specifically, Rajon Rondo, who's shooting a ridiculous 42% from 3, which isn't that ridiculous for most players, but for a dude who's known as a straight brick, 42% from 3 is amazing for Rajon Rondo. So, going over the Clippers, no offense to the Mavs, but why is it that people don't believe in the Clippers over the Mavs team? Like, the Mavs are good, and they have Luka Doncic, but why the hell don't people think the Clippers are going to win this series? Oh, right, it's because they're the Clippers. That's a joke, but being serious, they're the motherfricking Clippers. This team is known as a meme. They're a choke job team. Did you see them last season against the Denver Nuggets? I can hear it now. They choked against the Nuggets. They've still got Ty Lue as their head coach. Paul George is a playoff choker. Kawhi Leonard, he's seen as a playoff choker now after last season because he had that one bad game. They've been injured all season. They haven't played enough together. For some reason, people don't seem to care that the Nets haven't played enough together. But once it comes to the Clippers, because, their 2 best players have each missed like 20 games instead of 40 like the Nets' best players, all of a sudden, this team's got no chemistry. I'm getting a little overdramatic here. We're not here to talk about the Nets. But the Clippers do have some questions. However, despite all the time they've missed, this team is way better on the playmaking end than they were last season. Paul George and Kawhi Leonard have both massively improved as playmakers, and Rajon Rondo is a phenomenal addition who is averaging a very good 6 assists a game in his limited minutes. Also, he's another switchable defender. This is easily the best defensive team in the Western Conference for the playoffs. They have ridiculous switchability, whether you want Kawhi, Beverly, Paul George, Ibaka, some other guys, okay? There's other people on this team who are good defenders. They have a ton of them. Rajon Rondo, like I just said, okay? This team has so much switchability and defense. Pretty much everyone on the roster is a phenomenal shooter. They can go to the mid-range with Kawhi and Paul George if they need to. They can score inside, even though Zubac is not by any means a dominant center presence. They can really do it all. Now, the Mavs have Luka Doncic, and similar to LeBron James, it's hard to count out a team that has Luka Doncic. We saw what he did last season. But at the end of the day, I just don't think it's enough. Luka Doncic is going to average like 35 points a game on decent efficiency, despite the fact that the Clippers are playing amazing defense on him this series. But I don't even know if Kristaps Porzingis is going to be healthy. I saw a hilarious comment by another YouTuber a while ago that said, Kristaps Porzingis really is the unicorn. You hear about him all the time and you never see him. And it's the truth. The man is always injured. Always. I can't trust him to stay healthy for a full series against the Clippers, and even if he does, he's kind of inconsistent. He tends to be a little bit of a ball hog. Once in a while he starts taking bad shots, and this offense as a whole has no flow to it whatsoever because Rick Carlisle is not a very good offensive coach at the moment. He's just not. Likewise, this team does not have the defense to slow down Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. It just doesn't. Luka has improved on the defensive end, and Josh Richardson is an alright defender, but you do not want those two guys defending Paul George and Kawhi Leonard in a playoff series. They just can't do it. I'm sorry. I think this is going to be a very entertaining 6-game series, but Mavs fans, your time just isn't here yet. You need to get a little more defense. You need Kristaps Porzingis to stay healthy for more than 5 minutes, and realistically, you just need a new coach. I'm sorry, but that's how it is. The Mavs are not beating the Clippers this season. I am taking the Clippers in the first round in 6 games.